Smoking weed halal or smoking weed haram? Indeed, it is haram. I don't really need to explain, but I'll tell you that it is medically proven that weed or marijuana or cannabis contains THC. THC is an intoxicant. Well, say it doesn't really, yeah. Even if it's a little bit of intoxication. By the way, some marijuana, some cannabis contains a lot of THC. So you end up getting really high. And sometimes, no, it contains a little bit of THC, so you don't get really high. But it doesn't matter how high you get. An intoxicant is an intoxicant. If you drink a little bit of alcohol, this much of alcohol, or you drink an entire, for example, bottle of alcohol, it's still haram. It's still an intoxicant. There's no doubts about that. But I want to talk about, obviously everybody knows that. And it's not my job to talk about it from a medical perspective, but I want to talk about the pothead lifestyle. When I was actually preparing for this topic, I looked up some books, and you would not believe the Bible of the potheads. That's the title of a book. Are you kidding me? And what is there? Another book, for example, the complete lifestyle to being a pothead. The complete guide to... That sounds funny, but it's really not funny. When you look back at your life 20 years from now, you're going to be crying. What is the pothead lifestyle? It's being carefree, laughing at the face of every problem, not waking up on time, not sleeping on time, not eating properly, not sleeping properly, not attending to your responsibilities properly, being lazy, being a bum. That's the definition of a pothead lifestyle. Not only that, but it doesn't stop there. You think it stops there? Smoking weed is not just about, smoking a joint. No. Smoking weed, it's about that lifestyle. It's about listening to the wrong kind of music. It's about going to the wrong type of gatherings. It's about parties. And when you smoke, first couple of months, a year, 2 years down the line, then comes drinking. And after drinking come hard drugs. And after drugs comes all sorts of problems. And soon enough you find yourself immersed in all sorts of sins. There is no way for you to escape them. All sorts of difficulties. And I tell you, this pothead lifestyle is the most unfortunate lifestyle. Why? Because it makes you escape reality. You don't face reality like a man. Turns you into a coward. Every time you think about your exam, well, let me pack a bowl. Every time you think about your bills and your payments and your finals, you smoke a joint. And then soon enough, oh, who cares? Yeah, whatever. I can be in college for 3 years or 10 years. Doesn't matter. They took my car away. Not a big deal. I'll use a bicycle. That's what happens. It's literally what happens. And then those people grow up. And you tell them, listen, why don't you have a job? You're 30 years old. You don't have a job. You don't have your own home. You don't have your own vehicle. You're not getting married. Say, do you think it's easy to have a job in this country with all this Islamophobia? My name is Ali. People don't want to give me a job. He doesn't say that I blew away my youth, instead of going to college, instead of obtaining a job, I was smoking weed and playing Xbox every single day until the morning. I was hanging out with my friends, smoking argila. No, now he blames Islamophobia. Now the problem is his name. Not the fact that he was pulled over with weed like about 50 times in the past 5 years. Does Allah address this in the Holy Quran? Yes. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter 5. Surah Al-Ma'idah, brothers and sisters, was revealed in the holy city of Medina, and most scholars of tafsir believe it was the very last chapter revealed to Rasulullah in Medina. So this is not Mecca. This is not the beginning of Islam in Medina. This is all the way to the end of the life of Rasulullah in Medina. There's a community of believers that are fasting, that are praying, that are paying zakat, that are going to jihad. But Allah introduces, look, Allah talks about how it is forbidden to drink, how we should not drink and go towards salah. But here Allah talks about something else, talks about this culture that we're talking about. It's not just about smoking, it's that culture that Allah introduces in this ayah. Chapter 5, verse number 90. Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. O you believers, O you who believe in Allah and Rasulullah and Hajj and Zakat and everything. Listen, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Innama al-khamru, alcohol, wal-maysiru, wal-ansabu, wal-azlam, rajsun min amal al-shaytani fajtanibuhu la'allakum tuflihun. Allah combines bunch of things together in this ayah. He says drinking, fornication, adultery, gamble, the game of chance, which was like something like lottery or gambling. All together is part of the actions of shaitan, so stay away from it. Why is it that Allah puts them all together? It's because in Medina there were homes, the rich would open up their homes and they would invite belly dancers, and they would bring alcohol, and they would bring gambling, and they would just turn their homes into nightclubs, and people would go there. And I tell you, not everybody was going there to drink and fornicate. Some people were there to go and watch. Some people were just there to meet their friends, socialize. Some people were probably just there to watch the belly dancers. I don't know. Allah says, look, you need to stop. You need to put this lifestyle aside. This is the lifestyle of shaitan. Why? Because it starts with you just attending. It starts with you just being there, but then slowly but surely you're pulled in. Slowly but surely you're now involved in every type of sin. And today, that's exactly the lifestyle of the potheads and marijuana and all sorts of drugs. And brothers and sisters, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses this in the Holy Quran, and we come across those verses, we have to contemplate on them. We have to make sure we make them relevant to our lives. Whether you're here listening to me or you're listening somewhere else, or you will hear this later on in your life. If you're 15 years old, 16 years old, 20 years old, 25 years old, know that those are the most precious days and nights of your lives. Those are the most precious years of your life. If you ask anybody who's 40, 50, 60 years old, they tell you those are the golden days. Don't blow them away. Don't waste them by smoking weed and playing Xbox and hanging out with your friends. Build yourself a future. Put yourself on the ladder of success. Make sure you take life seriously. Look, your parents, they did everything they can for you to become successful, to have a good future, to make them proud.